being the spectator of thoughts almost sometimes sooner and sometimes later in a thought stream you wake up and realize that you can take the step back, so to speak, but very seldom in my experience is the thought clearly rising, being watched and subsiding. It's almost always that boom, you wake up and in the middle of somewhere in the train. I never see the locomotive. I see the cart number XY Z.
When you're thinking the thought without realizing that that's what's happening, then you're in the train, if you like.
Yes.
So you're already into the story. So you forget that you're experiencing a thought. So you take it to be real, what the thought presents to you. I mean, because the experience of thinking is absolutely real. But the situation that the thought presents to us is imaginary. So you have two possibilities. When you are into the thought, into the journey, everything seems very, very real. And that's why we lose so much energy to try to fix the imaginary problem, to solve things. And we can't, because we forget that it's imaginary. So we experience anger or we feel drained, and we don't realize why. We think that the thoughts that we are having are an accurate mirroring of the situation. But that's not true. It can be true. Of course, a situation might be terrible in itself. But the way we interpret it, or we are tempted to interpret it, is far more worse than the actual situation is. And then the other possibility is to simply watch your thoughts as being thoughts without being dragged away by them. If you like, you can say that that's the place where true freedom lies, because you're there to notice what's happening. I know what you're saying, that at some point we wake up from the thought and we realize, I've been drawn into the thought again. But what we don't realize, and it's very, very subtle, is that that's a thought too. It's a thought number 2 that evaluates thought number 1. And then you can have a third thought saying, I need to be more careful. That's absolutely fine. That's our experience at that moment. But you can notice with a different quality. You can notice with awareness. So rather than even formulating thought number 2, you can simply notice. It's if you like, it's a noticing that is not phrased into words. It's a silent noticing. It's a noticing that we do with awareness and not with the mind. Because when we do with the mind, we're still in the story, having a thought about the story. So the solution is not to continuously evaluate our mental activity or our behavior, or to stop our thoughts, but rather to notice with that silent awareness. And even if you formulate another thought that evaluates the situation, if you do that knowingly, the chances that you won't do it. But if you do that knowingly, then that's fine.